Hello YouTube, it is December 27, 2019. Only 4 more days until the new year. Okay, I know I'm not Beyonce. But even Beyonce didn't sound like Beyonce. Y'all seen the little cute meme with Beyonce and Blue Ivy? Honey, Beyonce is just so phenomenal that even as a chipmunk, she sounds darn on elegant. So I know I can't channel the Queen Bee. I sound more like Tina Turner after she smoked 2 packs of cigarettes. But nonetheless, this ain't about the vocal accolades today. This about the lovely skin tone. Brown skin, or can we say, I'm red bone in yo. Thoughts can't clock me nowadays because Miss Megan Good, honey, is looking like dum 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 sister red bone. Bow, bow, bow. Has she put that skin bleaching on? So I'm here to answer the questions. So has Megan Good indeed bleached her skin? I withheld my judgment because I did not know enough at the time. Y'all know I am a licensed esthetician. However, in the day and age with, Photoshops and, the skin lightening can happen with the wrong filter. Y'all know I can jump up like 5 to 6 skin tones. I can be looking like Beyonce with the wrong filter on, honey. So I said, well, maybe Megan Good, she accidentally hit the rise filter and, this what had her looking, abnormally fair or whatever. She came out and said, she gets lighter in the winter, this, that, and the third. So I am finally here now that she has come out, because during the time that everybody was doing their commentary, Megan Good was gone off of social media. She hasn't posted nothing from a month during that time frame. She wasn't on TV. So we only had like one picture of her looking very sickly. Like she had a very casket white skin tone, and I just refused to believe it. But now looking at her skin, we can see that something is indeed going on, but is it necessarily skin bleaching? Now, this is her on the Tamron Hall show next to her husband, who is supposedly naturally fairer than her, but once again, makeup can be deceiving because y'all know the makeup reflects lighter on us women, and, sometimes you can be darker and on camera you naturally look brighter. A perfect example of that is Kelly Rowland is darker than her husband. However, in certain lighting, she looks a little bit more yellow in tone than her husband because of the makeup, because the silica and the makeup tends to reflect off of the flashing lights. Honey, shout out to darn Estelle from London, honey. Whatever happened to Estelle? We ain't seen her in a doggone month of Sundays, baby. But neither here nor there. We actually talking about the light-skinned girls today. So, yeah. Even with factoring all that in with the flashing lights, Megan Good is looking a little bit more lighter than normal, I can definitely say. And as y'all can see, I have pulled up a ton of, pages that actually compare her. Good thing about Megan Good is she's been an actor all her life. She's like Raven-Symoné. So a good example of gauging her skin tone is we can go all the way back to when she was a child. So she says that she is naturally fair skinned and, she hasn't been in the sun and all this, that, and the third. Pretty much the same that Beyonce has said. And I'm here to see if that is indeed true or not. So let's go ahead and break down the Tamron Hall. Let's show Tamron Hall real quick.
Oh Lord, we had to wait. I think we just wanted to share because relationships are so hard. And
what is going on, YouTube? Okay, there we go. Hell, y'all ain't about to copyright strike me. I don't got time to be doing the cover-ups and all that shit. So this is Tamron Hall over here, and the reason why I want to showcase Tamron Hall is because Tamron Hall looks roughly around the skin tone that Megan Good was as a child. Now a little bit darker, but close enough for a reference point. And now we look at Megan Good, who is looking lighter than her boyfriend, who is naturally light skinned. Now, we've always put Megan Good in the brown skin category. So the fact that she is looking lighter than Beyonce is somewhat like, something's going on, honey. Something's going on. Is it just the makeup? Is it my makeup? Makeup? Is it a combination of being out the sun? Or is it indeed skin lightening? So let's go ahead and go to her Instagram and see what she looked like in the summertime. Summer. So this is a regular photo of her in the summertime. So we definitely see that there is a clear difference between what she looks like in photography versus when she looks like on actual video. And that's what I was mentioning, because I was like, well, maybe it's because of the fact she wears makeup, and you know, sometimes in the wrong lighting, if you don't adjust your camera settings, because a lot of people do not adjust their camera settings, and cameras are not black girl friendly. It's like if you go out in the sun and you just rely on the auto settings, it can whiten your skin out. And this is a perfect example of it's whitening her skin out, because this is her on this is a picture of her, but this is her the same day, I believe. Well, no, that's a different outfit, but you know, same time frame nonetheless. Now she got music playing on in this background, that's why I'm not going to show it, but you see how noticeably yellow her skin gotten versus with the previous one. Once again, very, you know, mid light caramel brownish color. Once again, another caramel tone. That's her up against Ludacris. She's a little bit more lighter than Ludacris, but granted that, you know, she got makeup on and all that. And now, you know, with women and estrogen and exfoliating the legs more often, that all increases, you know, the lightening as well. Because you're exfoliating the skin more, you have more estrogen, and that does play a part in your skin appearing to be a tad bit lighter than somebody who would be your male equivalent. So, good example of Ludacris, a male who, you know, once again lets his hair grows in, not shaving, versus somebody around the same tone who, you know, has makeup on and who regularly shaves. Okay, this is her in the summer. Oh, wait a minute, this saying 3 out. Oh no, those are the comments. But this was posted once again, summer, September 26th. And matter of fact, wasn't that around the time that all this started popping off with the alleged skin bleaching? Or was it October? October when it was this. But we saw another photo floating around of her being a little bit lighter. So is she taking something? Let's see. Now this is December.
Was to see Cousin Skeeter one last time. No, just see Cousin Skeeter one last time. The puppet.
No!
The puppet.
Okay, a little bit fair.
Yeah. We found him.
I'm legit gonna cry.
You oh my god.
Yeah. Such a big part of my childhood.
Honey, Megan, good, I feel you. I grew up on Cousin Skeeter too. How many of y'all darn watch Cousin Skeeter? I wish they at least put it on Hulu or darn on Netflix. I don't know why Cousin Skeeter ain't on darn on Hulu or Netflix. Matter of fact, everybody else getting a damn reboot. Y'all could darn on reboot Cousin Skeeter. Now I will darn on green like that, honey. It's like, come on now. All these motherfucking reboots that should not be touched, but if you could retouch something like Cousin Skeeter being a puppet, you can actually revamp Cousin Skeeter. But Sister Act and all that, the stuff that really shouldn't be touched, honey, they darn gonna try to touch it. And then it's worse when they try to replace the darn on characters. Darn on Issa Rae talking about redoing Set It Off. I'm like, K. Fox, if you don't sit your darn on fox shaped looking ass down some darn on where Issa. But that's not the video today, honey. We here to darn on break down whether Miss Thing is skin lightening or not. That's another picture of her. Once again, she got a little golden tall, and this is just 4 days ago. So factoring all this in, I am going to err on the side of no, she is not skin lightening in the way that y'all are thinking. Now, does she have products that she is using that might, lighten her skin, like some vitamin C scrubs and stuff like that? Yes, I do believe that, as black women get in the industry and they start taking care of their skin tone more, the hyperpigmentation they might have had as a child has started to fade, because we as brown people, we're just so used to just being like 5 different shades of black that once we get put on and we become even toned and we get all these high-end skincare products and all this, people want to accuse you of darn on skin lightening because you look significantly lighter than what you was as a child. But people did not know that as a child, your skin may not have been the best. You might have been climbing on trees, scraped up and all this, that, and the third, out in the sun, all types of hours. People don't never factor stuff like that in. Also, you not being as actively in the sun as you was as a child. So that's why I wanted to showcase her summertime photos, where we can clearly tell she still got some bronzeness to her, versus once we go into like the wintertime. Because the telltale sign of somebody who's really skin bleaching using, chemicals such as hydroquinone is she was looking Casper Wright dead smack in the summer. Also, if she really had the bluish white undertone, in photography, on camera, and no, she doesn't. Now, she looks fair, but once again, we got to take in the fact that she has a full face of makeup on, and thus that's making her look a little bit lighter than what she is. Now we go to her as a child. Once again, you see, this is her as a child from Cousin Skeeter. And then we go back to Tamron Hall. What? Okay. You see Tamron Hall, and then you see. So once again, a little bit more fairer than Tamron Hall is naturally. And then there's her recently up against Michael Ealy. Once again, another light-skinned brother. You see that she is a little bit darker, and this was around the summertime. So we can see that she still has the ability to tan and is even. Versus if she was on hydroquinone, it would have thinned out her skin where it wouldn't be advised for her to be in the sun, because number one, when you take hydroquinone and then you try to get off of it and you're in the sun, you actually burn darker than what your skin tone naturally is. And it's not aesthetically even. It's not like you're going to be Grace Jones, even tone, rich chocolate. No, your skin be dark, you be fucked up, your skin is all patchy, you start to get, red blisters and all that. And I don't see none of that going on with Megan Good. Like, once again, I see healthy brown caramel skin, and this movie was filmed recently. Like, I think they did it 2018, just last year, so. That's another one, very deep golden brown tone. So I definitely think she's actually been using some lightening products, but not to the extent of skin bleaching. So what I think is this is just a good combination of her being out the sun, not being in the sun as much, along with, using some vitamin C scrubs and a little bit of, chemical peel. And once again, let me break down the chemical peel. Some chemical peels are lightening peels, but not all lightening peels. Some chemical peels are lightening peels, but not all chemical peels are lightening peels. So what that means is a chemical peel is a chemical exfoliant that just strips down the top superficial layers of the skin. So not all chemical peels lighten the skin. For example, I use chemical peels from time to time to deal with acute breakouts and hyperpigmentation, but y'all see that I'm still richly deep brown. Not all chemical peels are formulated with tyrosine inhibitors, which shuts off your melanin and thus results in lighter skin tone. You can have chemical peels such as glycolic. You can have some such as lactic acid, which is just going to exfoliate and focus on giving a more radiant hue, inducing collagen synthesis to the skin, which gives the skin plumpness, which increases the elasticity and all of that. Versus if you have a lightening peel, which got some kojic acid in it, you might have some hydroquinone as some post-care product or whatever. I personally don't recommend, hydroquinone, especially for brown skin. Those are what's going to lighten the skin. Hydroquinone being the most controversial because obviously it can, become a systemic in the system. It is carcinogenic, and if you're not careful over time, it can thin your skin out, and it does more harm for you in the long term than good. Versus when you use more natural alternatives such as, mandelic, which is the most beneficial to black skin. It derives from bitter almonds. It lightens the skin tone without bleaching in it. Also, you don't have to worry about it being mixed match. Like if you get it on an area that's not this color, you don't have to worry about it still being, because with hydroquinone, the dark spot might lighten up to your skin tone, but you done slattered it all over your face, so your face is still uneven. Because now your natural skin tone done jumped up a few shades. With mandelic acid, it doesn't do that. For whatever reason, it knows how to channel to go straight to the hyperpigmented areas, and it lifts up the skin evenly. So your skin will be a rich, even shade of brown versus all this, we don't want to look like Sammy Sosa. Oh, shoot. Excuse me, y'all. My darn light done fell down. I'm sorry, y'all. One thing I'm going to change in 2020 is I'm going to finally get rid of that darn slanted motherfucking darn light bulb. I'm so sick of it. We're going to finally get some darn professional lighting come darn 2020. So I don't be looking the wall don't be looking yellow. My wall is really not this yellow, but it's because of this darn incandescent warm bulb that I have. It gives off the worst type of lighting, honey. Thank God I have this HD darn camera to compensate for it. It wouldn't pay if I was also recording from a tacky camera. So it's like, ugh. But anyways, also another thing that shows you how lighting can also, affect the skin tone. Because y'all see me in far better lighting. And, I am not as off-putting in color as I'm probably am right now. Y'all see me when I record with my Samsung versus this, and it's completely night and day. Y'all see my rich, deep, lovely shade of cinnamon brown versus... Now, sometimes y'all do with this camera as well. I go in and adjust where I'm not looking too because, like I said, the saturation and stuff be too much at times. So you got to factor all that in, whether the person's wearing makeup, whether they are in flash photography, and the flash can make them look about 7 shades lighter. That's why people was accusing Beyonce and them of skin bleaching, because they're light skinned, but they had the heavy under eye look, back when everybody was going 4 shades lighter than their skin tone. But when the flash happens, then you had the raccoon eyes, and then you look naturally white in complexion. Compared to when they was a child, they had very minimal makeup. They're in the sun. Beyonce's actually getting spray tan. So you comparing that to now natural light caramel complexion with makeup that's fairer than her skin tone, so it gives the illusion of skin bleaching. So all of that has to be taken in consideration when, factoring in whether somebody bleached their skin or not. So now going to her co-star, the sexy darn on Robert Richard, honey. Honey, he was my darn on child. Hell, he's still my darn on crush, honey, as a grown woman. I can do whatever I want. Honey, he can darn on slide in my damn DM. Honey, he is the man crush every day, honey. But I've been in love with darn on Mr. Richard, honey, since darn on Cousin Skeeter. But as we can tell, he's a natural, light person. And the reason why I'm bringing him up is he was Megan Good's co-star. And you see what he looks like as a child and what he looks like now grown up. Now, we can't, because this looks like a professional shoot. And they brown up the skin tone there. But you see, he's still very light. Oh, wait a minute. That's a natural one. Y'all excuse me to my male subscribers, honey. I'm darn gonna get my little eye candy in, honey. Hell, most of my subscribers are women anyway, so this is the treat for us, honey. Now, this is what he looked like on Cousin Skeeter. Very light caramel tone. Now, this is Megan Good back here in the cut. So we see how dark she is compared to how light he is. But now she's looking like she could easily be lighter than Robert Richard. So that's why I said it's also something else going on just from the makeup, because the makeup is blending in with the rest of her body fairly well. So we just can't say the makeup is doing it itself. I do believe she has jumped up quite a few shades, but she hasn't, jumped up substantially with a ghostly undertone where I would say that it's unnatural bleaching. I would say she's been, just gone a tad bit too light, in my opinion. Because once again, this is her in Eve's Bayou. This is 1997. And this is next to Janelle Smollett, who, grew up to be in Underground and plenty of other shows, Roll Bounce and all of that. And she's also is she the younger or older sister of Jussie Smollett? For y'all that don't know, this is Jussie Smollett's sister. This is the famous Smollett family. Most people did not know that Smollett's family has a name behind them. It might not be to the degree of the Jacksons or whatever. But it's similar to the Wayans brothers. Like, everybody in that family has an acting degree. So, I mean, not a degree, but a history in acting for the most part. And this is the sister. Natural red bone. So we see that she has not jumped up as fair as Janelle. She's still relatively brown, but in certain cases, it's like that makeup don't be doing her no justice, honey. And then this is next to Grace Byers, who played Boo Boo. See, this is when darn gone Empire really went downhill. When they killed off Miss Boo Boo Kitty, bitch. They was wrong with killing off Miss Boo Boo Kitty. So this is a sexy Boo Boo Kitty, Grace Byers. I forgot what island she's from. It's not Barbados. It's not. Is it? She's from some sort of island that's not commonly mentioned. But this is Grace Byers next to Megan Good. So you can see once again, she's still visibly darker. So she hasn't completely Sama Sosa or none of that. Because she's still significantly darker up against, a natural, fair red. Well, no, Grace Byers would be what we would call high yellow. Like, Grace is what you would call white passing. Like if you did not know, I mean, granted that with her features, you would still think Latina, but you wouldn't think of any immediate African ancestry with Grace Bryars. Versus Megan Good, we still recognize her as a sister. And then you'll think that these two over here are brothers, honey. But they are surprisingly not. But at first I thought they was darn on in-laws based off of them looking so much alike, but they actually surprisingly are not related. Here's another picture side by side. You see how fair Grace Bryars is, and you see how tan, golden that Megan. Okay, my picture is probably blocking it, so let me go down. And then last comparison is loud ass damn car. I hope that did not pick up on my camera. But I'm back. Last comparison is Beyonce. So now we got a natural light-skinned woman. Undeniably light-skinned. For whatever reason, when she was younger, even with the tan, she was still light. But people wanted to put her in the brown skin category. But I want to show y'all the difference between somebody who's also been in the business about just as long, who has performed since she was 6 years old, been in pageants. She's been on Star Search when she was 11. She was in Girls Time at 13. She started Destiny's Child up by the time she was 15. And then the rest is history. So we got a long extensive, catalog to compare Beyonce. And she's been under similar circumstances as far as, the industry no longer being in the sun as much. So I think she's the best accurate comparison to somebody like Megan Good. So let's see what Beyonce looked like as a baby. So believe it or not, this is Beyonce right here. Then we see as she got a little bit older, she got a little bit of melanin to her. This is her right here up against Blue Ivy. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. The hell? Honey, what the world Google doggone images doing? Oh, here's another image right here. So we can always see that Beyonce's always been fair with type 3 hair for the most part. Because people wanted to debate me talking about Beyonce has 3C4A hair because Solange has what is similar to my hair, which is, 3C, 4A, 4B, but predominantly 4A, 4B in texture. And we can clearly look at Beyonce and see that it's not the case. But always been relatively fair. It's that. And then we go to what she looked like in Destiny's Child. Notice that even with tanners and lip, overlining her lips, she always naturally was the lightest person in the damn group. Like, always the lightest one. Like, people said she was closer to LaToya Luckett's skin tone. But this is a picture of what all of them looked like in the 90s. Even with Beyonce trying to tan and all of that, look how fair that she is up against doggone LaToya Luckett. And then here's Latavia Robinson right here, and here's Kelly Rowland. Here we go again. Now here's where obviously some editing has gone in play, because now all of them look similar in skin tone, and this is where people used to call out the edit, and people can't tell because people would take this as real. But we can see that obviously some editing has gone on here because we just seen what their skin tone looked like. But look now, all of them look like they're relatively the same skin tone. But you look at Beyonce in the face, you can tell she's naturally fairer. Kelly is darker, and both of these are the true brown skin sisters. But back in the day, they would try to edit everybody's skin to look similar to each other, especially if you was dark skinned. But then when you look at them in real life, Look how golden brown Beyonce is. And then look how dark Latavia Robinson is. Latoya Luckett, beautiful brown complexion, exquisite chocolate. See, this is what went wrong with us back in the 90s. Honey, the makeup wasn't favorable on us back in the day. Because they got my darn girl Kelly looking a little bit rough in the face. But this darn skin tone, honey, exquisite chocolate, but the makeup not so much. You notice that the makeup looks the best on Beyonce because the makeup always looked good on fair skin, but once you got down to brown, you see how ashy it looks on her, on Latoya Luckett. Looks a little bit off on Latavia. Real off on Kelly, but looks just right on Beyonce. And then here's one more. Now this is when Michelle joined. And you can see once again significantly fairer in hue. And then we go to Beyonce of the day. And this is what she looks like. This is just literally a couple days ago. Still yellow golden skin tone. So I don't understand when people accuse Beyonce of bleaching, and her skin has been fairly consistent throughout the seasons. And we get to see what she looks like in multiple lighting scenarios. So now with that being said, looking at what Beyonce looks like today compared to what Megan looks like, girl, fire your darn on makeup artist and hire darn on Sir John. If y'all don't know who Sir John is actually the person who does Beyonce makeup, and he is not that expensive, honey. Somebody of Megan's caliber can definitely afford Sir John because look how the Queen's makeup is done. Honey, blended in nice. And then the thing is, you need a professional makeup artist that knows how to adjust your makeup for different scenarios. Because if you're going out and about, that makeup needs to be totally different from when you're going on set. Like you need your makeup artist need to be familiar with what type of lighting that the makeup set is. How can I say it? Like if you was going on to The View, you don't have to worry. But if you was going on to The Real, you might have to warm up your makeup because the lighting tends to be more incandescent and it can wash out the skin tone a little bit if you're brown skin. Fluorescent on The Real. So your makeup artist needs to be familiar with what type of setup is going on. Whether you're going to be on stage performing like Beyonce, her makeup has to hold up throughout the entire show. And then she might be in a different scenery. He has to adjust for the climate. You have to take in consideration whether it's flash photography. The silica in the makeup can flash back and make the skin tone look about 5 shades lighter. So you got to avoid silica based makeup with an artist like Beyonce when she's on tour versus when she's doing private events where she knows it ain't going to be as heavy flash photography. So the makeup is going to look different on a night like this. You know what? This motherfucking car did not go on. I know y'all probably can't hear it, but that darn car done circle back around. Darn 1980 muffler sounding like a darn truck. But like I said, the makeup is going to look totally different on a more glamorous night versus when she's performing. And unfortunately, she ain't performing in a minute, so I can't show y'all an actual performance photo as a comparison. But you see how deep golden brown she can be in the summertime. Summer, summer, summertime. So it's very puzzling that you have Megan Good, who is naturally more browner than Beyonce, looking this darn on fair. Now, granted that, you know, it's winter, it's December 25th, and you know the Tamron Hall records about a good couple weeks in advance. But you go to Beyonce and compare what she looks like now in the winter. It's like, come on now. Girl, you ain't looking too much off from darn on Beyonce. And even Beyonce still got a little bit more color to her. So once again, you need to fire your darn on makeup artist. I don't understand what's going on with her darn on makeup artist. Like I said, Sir John is very affordable. He knows how to adjust the makeup for every type of lighting situation. Make sure you're not you're not over concealing, because that's another thing that I see on black people that I do not like. You do not supposed to go 2 shades lighter. I don't know who told y'all that was the trend. Maybe if you're doing it for, you know, dramatic effect on, you know, set or something, but in real life, your concealer should not be more than 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. And in reality, sometimes you can get away with not wearing concealer at all. Like today, let me close in up on my skin. I'm not wearing not nail stitch or concealer. I'm not wearing no concealer today. I got foundation on that is just focused on the outer perimeter of my face. But once you get in, I'm not wearing a stitch of makeup all up and through here. But I blended it in. So no makeup on at all. Just a little bit of nose contour to bring some structure back to my nose. Definitely don't need to thin it out at all. My nose is naturally thin like Beyonce. A little forehead contour, that's it. But no over highlight or none of that. It is not needed in certain cases. Like I said, maybe it'd be different if, you know, you're on a movie set where it calls for it, but in everyday scenario, you do not need to be given the hawk eye like effect. So that's another mistake that I see certain people make. But yeah, she needs to fire her makeup artist. Now, these are her natural brows, unfortunately. She was insecure about her brows, and so she done went and got them tattooed. Y'all know how I feel about darn on these thick brows on these women, honey. It gives me drag queen teeth, honey. Not everybody can get away with these are mine's natural. But hers, it's like you can tell that they are tattooed. Oh my goodness. I don't like it. It's like, that's another thing. It's like, ooh. It's not even darn, but like, it's literally tattooed. She can't even change it. Ooh. And then you got this doggone bad makeup job. Once again, girl, get you some Sir John to get your makeup together. Or at least one of the girls down in Atlanta. Ain't she's from Atlanta? So it's like, come on, get somebody to paint your face decent. Somebody that is skilled in color theory. Somebody who knows about how to adjust your makeup for when you're on set versus when you're doing interviews. And because before you even set your ass on Tamron Hall, you should have known, your makeup artist should have known what type of lighting that Tamron uses and adjust yourself accordingly. Y'all should have seen on HD television what the setup for Tamron's show looks like, and then your makeup artist should have planned accordingly. Your makeup artist should not have you out here looking like this, girl. Once again, it's blending in good, but you're looking a little bit too fair in my humble opinion. So, is she skin bleaching? No, I definitely don't. She still got some color to her skin. Her skin does not look to be thin out. It's not over exfoliated. I don't see the casket tone, but I do see a little bit of ashiness from the makeup. So it's a combination of the makeup and her skincare. Like, I do believe she is, exfoliating more, being out in the sun. She's not in the sun as much. So factoring all that in, there's your answer. No, she is not skin bleaching. However, she needs to fire her makeup artist. I don't think there's no problem with her exfoliating or using chemical exfoliants. She hasn't gone too far overboard in my humble opinion. However, once again, she definitely needs to bring a little bit of hue back to her skin. Like, She could afford a little bit of bronze and stuff. Ooh. Yeah, that's my thoughts, y'all. So y'all tell me what y'all think of my assessment. Like I said, in my professional opinion, after looking at all the receipts, factoring in her as a child, as an adult, comparing her up against her sexy male counterparts who have been naturally lighter than her all these years, but now she looks fairer than them. Comparing her to what, Beyonce looked like as a child, to when she was as a child, to her best friend Grace Bryers. Yeah, there's a multitude of things going on, but skin bleaching is not necessarily it. I believe that her makeup artist is just fucking her up. Her makeup artist is fucking her up, and she needs to get rid of him, because it's like, girl, that darn gone light bright. It's like you a beautiful rich caramel. Own it, honey. People will pay for you. Hell, you see what darn gone Kim Kardashian, like, we just got finished dragging her ass. She darn gone literally on the Hollywood magazine trying to get this motherfucking skin tone that your ass has naturally. Like, Kim Kardashian was aiming to try to look like this, and here you is darn gone looking like this. Like, girl, bye. It's like darn gone, she done swapped skin tones almost with darn gone Kim. Now, it's not as bad. She still got some color, but it's like, damn. It looks like you trying to acclimate yourself to Kim, and Kim trying to acclimate yourself to you, honey. So that's my thoughts on that. Y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah. Once again, Megan, this came from love. I don't want you to think that this was some hateration. This was just some friendly advice. We want you to darn gone step your darn gone makeup game for the new year. Hell, you can even hire your darn gone girl. Your girl out here on the job search in 2020. I don't mind traveling to help you out. So, once again, I'm always available. No shade, honey. Matter of fact, I can help you find your right shade. That's what we trying to do. So, this is just coming from a place of love. Mwah.